Hi and welcome back to my writing studio. Today I want to share with you 3 books that have had unbelievable and profound impact on my life and how I express myself. These books have helped me be more clear-minded about the things and relationships that are important to me and have helped me develop my own value system that guides me in my personal life as well as a creative person, a writer, an author, a YouTuber, and a blogger. The first book I want to share is Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But if you are a teen or if you have a young sibling or a teenager kid, then pick up the teen version of this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. I read this one back when I was in the 9th or the 10th standard. A classmate's mom had given this book to her and she had very generously shared the book with me once she was done. But at that time, I didn't take my time with this book. Later on, when I was at my corporate job, is when I picked it up and really dove into this book. It is one of those books for me, you have those books that you are aware of its existence or even read it, but not until you are ready to receive the message or the teachings in that book do you pick it up and it makes perfect sense. This was one of those books for me. In this book, Stephen Covey lays down 7 habits to be effective. Of all the 7 habits, the one that had the most impact on me was begin with the end in mind. What you want as the end result, your actions today should align with that. You want your dream job, but today you have to apply for the job and work on your interview skills. You want to be a successful author, so today you have to sit down and write. You want to run a marathon, so today you have to go run and build your stamina. You want to be known as a kind person who everyone loves and respects. So today you have to be kind to the people you interact with. Begin with the end in mind. All the 7 habits he outlines are worth your time to read and take in and reflect. But this one just stands out to me. The next book that has helped me is Brené Brown's Rising Strong. It is a book you should read if you want to do something but you are scared. If you want to do anything, you have to accept that you will face some hardships and even fail. In this book, Brené Brown talks about rising from all that hardship and being strong from it. She emphasizes on vulnerability and how that is the greatest measure of courage. Showing up even when you're scared and don't know what to do. She talks about the critics that we come across and how we should be mindful of whose voices we allow in our lives and in our heads. She shares that the process of rising strong is recognizing what our emotions mean, digging in deep to truly understand our strengths and our weaknesses, and then use what we've learned to make positive changes to our lives. There is so much more to learn from this book. A few things that really stuck with me were that we cannot be comfortable and courageous at the same time. And the other one is, if you are not in the arena getting your buttocks kicked, she is not interested in your feedback. And I often remind myself of that. An author friend recommended this next book back when we were working on our first novels, The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and it stacks up well with the other 2 books. It took me a while to get around to read this book, but this is one of those books that you'll want to keep revisiting. You should probably keep it in your back pocket, so to say, easy to access. And I recently went back to this book and flipped through and read the highlighted texts that I had made. I've been anxious about publishing my next book. If you don't know, I'm an indie author. Going back to this book and reading through it has helped me acknowledge the fear and come up with a plan for myself to do this. Publish my book even though I'm scared. I know this to be true. The most personal and professional growth that I have seen is when I have been the most scared and I have gone ahead and done it even then. This book is broken into 3 parts. In part 1, the author identifies the enemy. He calls it resistance, self-doubt, and fear of failure that keeps us from doing the things we want to do. Part 2, he shares how to overcome that enemy, which is by simply showing up. And in part 3, he shares his experiences as a creative person. His writing style is very engaging and you can read this book in a few hours. It has helped me see the patterns and work with my fears in a practical way. So I highly recommend this book. If you pick up any of these, let me know in the comments section which one and what you think of it. And I'll see you in the next one.